So they're going to be actually covered by our president. So moving on, I believe that in front of you the unit is going to be doing some of the important things about this meeting and feel free to take So our theme today is collaboration and interdisciplinary approach in informatics. So in an era where technology and healthcare intersect, it is crucial that we recognize the power of working together across various disciplines to drive innovation and improve patient impact. So what I'm simply saying is that we cannot only work as health informaticians, we need to work with doctors, nurses, physicians, everyone else, so that at the end of the day we can improve health. So health informatics is a nexus of healthcare, information technology, and data science. So by fostering collaboration, we can create an environment where professionals from different fields can pool their expertise, perspectives, and skills. This collaboration enables the development of innovative solutions that address complex healthcare challenges. So when we come together, we are able to bring something that is more profound, something that is more put together that can actually answer the questions and problems that are in our society. So I believe that the people already in the field, the doctors are already working, the nurses are already working, who are already in the field. They are the ones who are very familiar with some of the problems that are already in our communities. So when we go out there, we are encouraged to collaborate with them so that we can work on bring solutions that are effective instead of creating solutions that are not, I can say that are not relevant to the context we are working with. Now, Zimbabwe and maybe Africa is global. So, an interdisciplinary approach in health informatics, it encourages the exchange of ideas and it promotes creativity. It brings together individuals with diverse backgrounds, sparking innovation and enabling the development of novel solutions. So by embracing collaboration, we can harness the power of collective intelligence and push the boundaries of what is achievable in health informatics. So in conclusion, we are saying that collaboration and interdisciplinary teamwork, they are essential in advancing health informatics. So by leveraging the expertise of professionals from various disciplines, we can foster innovation, translate research into practical applications, and ultimately enhance patient care. Let us embrace collaboration, break down disciplinary boundaries, and work together to shape the future where technology and healthcare converge for the better of humanity. Thank you. So that's all that I had to introduce the theme to you. I hope we are now sort of on the same page on what our theme is and what we are looking forward to learn today. So now I'm going to introduce you guys to Maine. I believe some of you are going to be here for our first meeting where we introduce Maine. Today we are not going to introduce the executive committee, but I'm just going to read to you guys our concept notes. So Maine is Zimbabwe Medical Analytics and Informatics Network. So this is an association that began here with students from USET. You could see most of the people that are in the executive, they are USET students. So this association, it began last semester. So we just realized that in the 21st century, where there's an acceleration in the link between healthcare and technology, there is need for us to also leverage that and make sure that we are also following suit. So that is the reason why we decided to have this association. We already have a program here at USET, which at the end of the day is supposed to produce professionals in informatics and analytics. So we realized that in Africa, there are quite a number of healthcare institutions which have not adopted technology. And that is our role after we've actually graduated, and even right now as we are getting into the professional world. It is our role to help them understand the importance of technology in healthcare and to help them leverage on whatever it is that they have and help them to improve. So our objective, the first one being to be recognized at USET as a high quality research-driven medical analytics and informatics discipline. So you can all tell that when we began this program, some of you did not even apply for it. You were just given this program and maybe you don't even understand where it's supposed to lead. So that's why we are here today. In our previous meeting, we discussed most of these things, but I believe that we're going to repeat some of them. So we have to understand that with the digitalization era upon us, digitalization is also coming into the healthcare sector. So we need to be people that are respected and recognized in the healthcare industry. So we know that we already have doctors, physicians, and other clinicians, but we also need to have our own space in the healthcare industry, and that is what we are trying to do here. So we also want to encourage, foster, and advance cooperation among members in external medical analytics and informaticians. So we have to understand that this is not something that only started here in Zimbabwe. If you go on the internet and you check, there are quite a number of associations for health informatics. There's one in America, so you can go and look them up. I sent some of the links in the main group that you are all in, so you can always go and look them up. So this profession is not new when it comes to other countries in the world, especially the Western countries. This profession is very well known, and if you are lucky enough to actually go out there and work that side, you will notice that this profession is well known and they understand what we're supposed to be doing. But we are Africans and we're supposed to improve our own continent in our own country. So we have to take from what they are already doing, we learn from them, and we come back to our homeland and try to also teach the people here and show them that there is a new way when it comes to health. There is a new way when it comes to the health sector. So we are no longer just looking at the traditional methods of healthcare, but we are now looking at technology and new inventions. So that's why we are here today. Our next objective is to provide knowledge to our members in areas like data visualization, telemedicine, research, and intentions. So as you're part of this association, we are going to be sharing knowledge with you guys in the group that we have on our social media platforms, and we look forward to having your website where you can go and actually look for resources, maybe short courses to do on health informatics so that you can improve your skills. So this is like the future, what we're looking to have in the future. So right now we do have the WhatsApp channel, we have the WhatsApp group. We know guys that we've been sharing quite a number of things so that you are knowledgeable of the things that we are doing right now. And also so that you may be able to actually understand some of the key skills, especially the soft skills that are needed for you to actually be competent in this field, and also so that you can know the places for you to get attention. Because you know, when you get to country, you're supposed to look for attention in various companies. Some of us who were not really guided accordingly might have just went to some hospital which didn't teach you the things that you needed to learn. But with this network that we have formed, we're actually going to be sharing with you guys some of the best healthcare facilities here in Zimbabwe where you can actually be attached so that you can learn something. Because it doesn't make sense for you to be attached somewhere where they don't even have a system. Because you're just going to go there and see the problems that we already know. But if you go somewhere where they have maybe just a system for their lab or just for bidding or something, you can go there and then try to improve and try to build from what they already have. So what I've noticed also is that in the industry, they are really open to having systems these days in hospitals. But it's like they're looking more on the financial side and not on like the healthcare part. So it is our duty to bridge that gap and to help them to understand that it is important for them to have their data in a system, to have their data analyzed so that it can actually bring value to the institution. Because a number of institutions have got these big rooms of files, lots and lots of files, and that data is just sitting there and not doing anything. So it is our duty when we go there for attachment, for us to actually advocate and let them know that data is very important and it can bring value to them. So our fourth objective is to provide networking opportunities with other faculties, with the industry and other peers. So of course, we're going to be having some activities where we'll be actually mixing and meeting people from other faculties. And I believe that even today we have other guys who are not doing health informatics, but they are here with us. So then the fifth objective is to promote the development of the medical and biological analytics informatics profession and the recognition and awareness of the profession by others. So at the end of the day, after you are done with the degree, you like to look for a job and find a job, right, and work somewhere. So right now, as we are, we're not really known in the health sector, so it may be hard for you to actually get a job. So this association is here to try and leverage opportunities for you guys and make sure that by the time you graduate in the healthcare industry, they know that there is a profession called health informatics and they know where you fit and where you're supposed to actually contribute in the society. So lastly, I'm going to share with you guys our mission and our vision. So our club mission is to have a concise statement that outlines the core purpose and goals of the club. So our mission is to bridge the gap between healthcare providers, researchers, and technology experts to accelerate the transition of data-driven insights into practice. So I think I've already explained this. So at the end of the day, we know that there is a gap between technology and healthcare, and we need to bridge that gap so that it becomes one thing, so that there is like that communion between technology and healthcare, so that we adopt technology into healthcare. So our vision is to be a globally recognized and innovative association that advocates for organized health systems, data analysis, and management. So at the end of the day, we want to be recognized as an association and also as a profession, not just in Zimbabwe, but even globally. And we also want to be recognized as the people who actually advocate for health systems, for their adoption, their improvement in various organizations, and also for data analytics and management, because we know the importance of data. So it is our duty to advocate for the importance of data in various institutions where we are going to be running. So at this point, I'm going to call upon Adriana. She's our project coordinator, and she's going to share with you guys our current projects and initiatives. So feel free, guys, to ask questions if you have any, to write them down, sorry. Then at the end of this session, we are going to have a question and answer. So as we are sharing here, you're jotting down some of the things that maybe you need clarification or you need us to explain further. So that when we have the question and answer session, we can have something to ask. Okay.
I stand before you to share some exciting updates for the first week and last week of May. We have some extraordinary initiatives lined up that are bound to leave a lasting impact on your professional community. Firstly and foremost, today, the first week of May, we have a remarkable network event. This event is aiming to foster connection, collaboration, and knowledge sharing among professionals in our field. To make this event even more special, we are honored to announce that we have invited distinguished guest speakers who are renowned experts in our profession. These individuals are known to bring their wealth of experience and insight to adjust and inspire all of us. So I am glad this event is a success. Can we give a round of applause for us? Moving on to the last week of May, we are planning to visit an adopted community, either a hospital or a school. The purpose of this visit is to extend our support and make a positive impact on our lives of individuals in need. We believe that by immersing ourselves in the community, we can gain a deeper understanding of their challenges and contribute to their well-being. The specific details of the visit, including the location and activities, will be discussed further, and we encourage all of you to actively participate in this noble cause. Furthermore, as professionals in our field, it is crucial to advocate for the relevance of our work. To this end, we are taking a proactive step by sending an email to the Director of Health Informatics at the Ministry of Health. In this email, we will express our desire to have a meeting with the Director. The objectives of this meeting is to highlight the importance of our field and discuss the strategies for further advancement and recognition. We believe that by engaging with key decision makers, we can amplify our voice and effect positive change in our profession. In conclusion, this event will undoubtedly shape our profession journey. Additionally, by reaching out to the Director of Health Information, we aim to advocate for the relevance of our field and pave the way for future growth. Let us join hands, work together, and seize these opportunities to create a brighter future for our profession. Thank you for your attendance, and let's make the first and last week of May remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adriana. That was short and precise. So just to highlight that the projects that she's sharing here, guys, we're actually doing them. We're not just saying the project. So So as you know that today we have the networking event that we're talking about. As for the meeting that she was talking about with the director of health, we've already set up a meeting for Monday. So most of these things, they are in progress. Then for the adoption of the school that want to adopt, or the healthcare facility. So we are still planning with that. If you have like some communities which you know that they are in need, feel free to share with Adriana or even with everyone else in the group. And also, guys, we encourage you to buy our t-shirts at the end of just a moment. As you can see, this t-shirt is nice, and they will allow us when we go out there so that people can tell that we are Zimei. So this is how the front of the t-shirt looks. And this is the back. It says "Ask me about Zimei." So if you want this t-shirt, you can talk to Adriana. She will assist you with that. You can have them in various colors, be it blue or white, right? Yes, and even the black. So we are all together, guys. We are all in collaboration. So let's all work together. At this point in time, I'm going to call our club president to actually introduce our guests. So this is the moment we'll be waiting for. Let's give a round of applause.
Why do you see sad faces? Are you angry?
That's unfortunate that we don't have refreshments today. But I hope that you answer. It is really an honor to actually be present.
So when you started
this association, like what's the place we have 9 years of doing together, academia, society, so professional society. So this is our first networking event. We lost out to Takunda. I just want to just in very enthusiastic for mathematics because it was so honored to be his presence today. Give me a round of applause. I said you about experiences. I can just before comes so Takunda is started as a pharmacist. He's a founder of the key of Afro Private Limited company. He graduated from UZ in 2011 with a bachelor's degree of commerce. And since then, he has gained experience in commerce department in manufacturing commerce, development, academia and research, hospital commerce, retail commerce, and all of that is led to his contributions in the digital environment. So he completed his master's degree program, master's in medical analytics, medical informatics, which was in Natal University in 2016. And by that time, he had already founded the EL Limited company in 2015. When he started working on a web-based electronic acoustic register, which is an electronic form. And Takunda also, it was approved, the electronic register was approved by the Medicine Control Authority of Zimbabwe. He also became the contributor of the Future Africa Forum in 2022, and has become featured in several newspapers and articles that cover the digital health. To fight against drug abuse as well as other digital health matters. To add more, do you want me to keep on going? The way I achieve by in the room.
Hopefully it's going to be a short speech. But the purpose of this is to expand. It's going to look like a paper. But it is because when you are here and you are learning everything is straightforward. In the academic environment, we will make a lot of assumptions. Sometimes you actually think that when you I'm saying. So try to keep up with those assumptions that we have and sort of mentally prepare you for the reward. Because in the reward, you're going to need to think. Not just going and throwing your CV somewhere and then they accept your proposal or whatever, or coming up with a solution and it's accepted. The reward is a little bit more time than you think. And this is what I think today I need to actually hammer in. So that you are mentally prepared, psychologically prepared. And all of this it's lovely, it's good, but it's a lot of hard work, and then that's what I hope I'll be just today, so that you guys can be prepared for the hard work. That's again. Okay. So the title of my speech is The Critical Field Outlook. Can we turn the need of collaboration into reality? Okay. So like I was saying, I was struggling a little bit on exactly how to structure this speech. Because naturally, of course, contrary to what the introduction says, it sounds like a very person. I actually gravitate towards things that are more practical and less academic, because that's what you need in the world. So after you go to school, whatever you need to learn, sometimes you actually do that. Put that aside and look at the new situation that you're facing. Okay? And then tackle it using, of course, using what you've learned, but in a more pragmatic sense. Okay? So that's the kind of thing. So if you're hoping for an academic presentation, graphs and stuff, I'm not that type of person. Alright. So in the real world, not everything is as straightforward as it is. Like a brief say. In the real world, so not everything that is written is what is.
Some of you did literature.
Some of you did literature.
When you're reading a literature, you have to unpack what's being said. And most of the stuff that's being said is unwritten. Right? You have to interpret what the author is trying to say. That's exactly what the right? So not everything that's written is what is being said. Not everything that is being said is not what is meant. And not everything that is not makes common sense is what is done. That's the real world, guys. It's a jumble out there. And so I hope I'm going to be able to demonstrate that and equip you guys psychologically for what it looks like out there. Alright. And the reason the rule is not important to me is because the rule we have the human beings come in different qualities or come with different strengths, right? Some human beings are given to their strengths, not to their benevolence, things like honesty, integrity, hard work, progressiveness, things like that. Other human beings are given to their vices, talking about greed, envy, malice, and so you're going to meet different people. So your experiences are going to be the same. Some of you are going to be able to collaborate with other people faster, some of you are going to be slower, some of you is going to be winding journey. The reason it's like that is because you're going to meet different kinds of people, and you're going to interact with different kinds of people. Okay. So, the lessons and questions that we're going to extract. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a summary of how Africa came about and the product that I call WebDD that Forgive gave you. And the questions I hope you're going to extract from this lesson or from this short speech is collaboration. That's our theme today, right? We're talking about collaboration, interdisciplinary work and stuff like that. So the first question I need you to ask yourself, especially as I give my speech, I need you to look for the answer. Is collaboration real? That's number one. Number two, how likely are we as a country to collaborate in matters and projects that genuinely move our country forward? The third question I need to ask yourself is, who is entitled to participate in making the nation better? So in every environment, you need to ask yourself this question. Who is entitled to collaborate? Because sometimes it's not that straightforward. But if it become apparent, you can engage whoever you're engaging. And the fifth question is, who is entitled to innovation? And then does our footprint reflect our trust for collaboration as an association? I'm talking about your association now. Or as a health sector, let's say health sector is about as a government or as a country. All of those things are interlinked. And the seventh question I would like to ask is about cohesion to collaborate. Because those are the things that are good that you're going to confront when you're going to that world, when you guys graduate with your degrees. And then the eighth question is, are we in an environment that is designed to foster collaboration and progress? You guys are saying you're going to have a meeting with the director of medical informatics, right? These are all important
Are all
questions
important.
for you guys. Because those are the real things that are going to be forward. So the sooner we answer all these questions in truth and our actions reflect the true answers to these questions,
The more time you take, and the easier it will be to make decisions on how we collaborate. Okay. Right, so now let me start with the story about your company.
so early in 2015, I was a young pharmacist working with narcotics. I'm sure you guys know what narcotics is. Like a dangerous drug. Morphine, pethidine, cocaine. So this pharmacy moved a lot of narcotics. Situated at the clinic where doctors were doing a lot of procedures. So they needed to participate in most of their papers. So I found the record keeping very cumbersome because after dispensing your computer in the pharmacy, you need to report your narcotics transaction in a hard copy, right? So I finished dispensing, and I go back because there's what's called it requires an narcotics record keeping in a separate place, so that the nation can keep track on how narcotics in the form of mass. So obviously, it didn't make sense to me. As a young innovator, there was a duplication of work. Why am I dispensing in a hard copy? It's duplication of work, right? And this could be time to collaborate, and even to patient This does not make sense. So the second problem I faced was that these registers were very difficult to keep in hand. You have one register for one drug. So if you have 9 drugs, you have 99 registers in the pharmacy. And because our transactions were so huge in number, it means it was very difficult to keep these registers. Sometimes it's even easier because you're always. And so the dangerous drug actually says this book should always be bound, and it can't have a That was very difficult because of the high number of transactions. It was also easy to make calculations while you're recording your transactions. Most of this is mental, you just calculating. And 20 I gave 4, so now I have 15. But when you're doing that over a long period of time, it's a lot of transactions. Sometimes you can just So by the time you get it, you have different numbers of money, it's like maybe trying to take something. But that's not the case. That's not the simple calculation. So these are some of the things that make sense for me to do as a pharmacist, especially in this technology age. So I decided to design a system that would capture all the narcotics transactions within the pharmacy. And then to add on to that, I decided to capture all the narcotics that are being manufactured, all the narcotics that the wholesalers are moving to the pharmacies, and all the narcotics that the pharmacies are moving to the patients. That meant I was going to create a system that actually captures narcotics for the entire pharmaceutical sector, from the manufacturers right down to the patient. Doesn't that make sense? It just makes sense. Common sense. Right? That's what you're going to find out. It's going to be different along with the story. Right? So obviously I started creating this. But before I started creating this, I had to apply for intellectual because I recognized that this might actually be a very good system in the future and it actually need a lot to the country. So I went to the regional intellectual property organization, applied for intellectual property. That same year, that was April 2015. I think it was granted in Right? I might miss a little bit of trying to engage. I may not just read what's written here. And then of course I also did train for the product which I then called FTD. So FTD is now the first and only electronic in the country, and it's designed to capture narcotics and reconcile narcotics consumption for the entire pharmaceutical. So obviously, it's a simple idea to you guys, right? Or at least your text, just makes sense. So now, after applying for intellectual actually applied for my trademark for WebDT. Then started my journey for maternity. So this is now where all the and this is what I need to take lessons from them because that's one that you're works like. Okay. Yeah. So of course in April 2015 after done my intellectual application. So usually when you apply for intellectual property, the moment you pay for your application, that's when you test even before you get your intellectual property. Okay. So I was now confident enough to share my application because I would apply for it. So of course, it's still April 2015. I wrote to MCA and proposed to launch my product with my product. Right, I wrote a nice letter, described what the project does, a clear. So for people who don't read, that's what they want to unlock the system. I've just demonstrated the demo when they asked me to do implementation. So I thought myself, I need to be a little bit more clear by here. Of course, I have intellectual property, but maybe I need to to my shock and horror. This is the real problem. Get the idea, they can steal it. You don't even know who they were. Maybe they take like they open. So the video is bad. So I asked you, and the video is bad. So these are things that you could do, especially when you become an entrepreneur. Get the legal work done. So according to the implementation, so of course you have to sign the non-segregation agreement. That's the okay. Then I proposed the non-segregation agreement. My interpretation of the problem. We got that one eventually. We got that one signed. And then I think that's when I did. So you can like half of my implementation plan was just a summary. So maybe there will supposed to be no brainer. But right. So you think maybe they allowed me to right, so this I launch after this, but no, that's not what happened. What happened is then they then told me that they can't give me permission to launch this because they operate under the process of running pilot. You guys, you are going to see, right? And then asked them, so write me a letter to the minister, to the ministry so that I can approach them and they know where I'm coming from. And they agreed. They write a letter to the but instead of having a pilot, and I went to see the government secretary. Long story short. I went and gave the proposal was also rejected. I think the one around is like. I mean, after the demonstration, they actually asked the remote guy, you need to prepare yourself for it. So it looks like a big day, right? Yeah. So obviously, to you guys, this idea is very simple. This makes sense, right? But look at all these benefits that I'm. So after I gave you the implementation plan, that's what the reward looks like. So I took some downtime. This was now in 2017. After so because the idea was proposed was rejected by then permanent secretary of health. I then re-engaged MCZ, I think in 2020, thereabouts. And I re-proposed to pilot the system along the paper-based system. This time they agreed to pilot the system. Right? So now in 2020, February 2020, thereabouts. And then we did a pilot of the system alongside the paper-based system. I looked for a couple of pharmacies that were willing to pilot the system. I wrote down, of course, the pilot on paper. I had MCA that signed the pilot and approved the pilot study. And I asked them to clarify under what conditions will I be able to pass after this pilot is done. And then they clarified, the rest is history. In March 2021, of course, I passed the pilot study. So they wrote a letter of approval, approving the use of WebDT. But of course, it was optional for the pharmacists that want to use it. If they want to use the paper-based system or the electronic system. But for me, that was a win. So, of course, in order to pass the pilot, I had to give them a report. We had to do a cyber security audit and things like that. You know, the things that come out, ethics, data security, all that kind of stuff. What you guys are doing right now. So, 2021, we've passed our pilot study. So, of course, my interpretation is if we're doing a pilot and running the paper-based system and the electronic system, and then the electronic system passes the pilot, what's your interpretation? It means someone can use the electronic system by itself, right? Yes. That's what I thought. But we'll find out later, as I go with my story here, that wasn't what they meant, apparently. So, in 2022, I decided maybe I need to give MCs a little bit more access to the system so that when they inspect pharmacies, Because when they inspect pharmacies, they usually go through the paper-based books. But because this was now electronic, I needed to give them login credentials so that they can just get a real-time information from whichever pharmacy is using the system. So I proposed a secondment arrangement with them so that their officers can log into the system and inspect and have oversight of all the narcotics transactions that are being recorded in the system. And then they refused the secondment arrangement, but they asked for a training, which I did give them a training. I think that was in March 2023 thereabouts. And of course, I handed over some credentials for them so that they can log in and get oversight on all the narcotics transactions. Right, so between 2021, 2022, 2023, because my system was being approved, I then of course approached some pharmacies, manufacturers, wholesalers that wanted to go digital. And of course, they actually got some interesting contracts from both individual pharmacies and some big chains, and a few wholesalers. Right? So now my clients are using the system. Most of them are happy. The ones that had a few problems we ironed it out. It was a matter of, it was just about digital literacy. There was a little bit of a gap, so I trained some of the guys on how to use the system. So now the system is in the market, it's being used, you know, everyone is happy. I'm thinking everything is normal, right? Everything is fine. I get a text message from one of the pharmacists using the system to say, hey, you know what? I've just been inspected by HAZ, and they told me that in as much as they recognize the system, I still need to use the paper-based system alongside what? The electronic system. So I'm thinking, but if these guys approve the system in 2021, because my interpretation is if they approve the system, anyone who wants to use it, of course it's their choice, but they can choose to use either the paper-based system or the what? The electronic system. So I asked the guys, why are they saying you need to use the paper-based system? And then they said because of the regulations say a bound book. And remember I said our interpretation of bound books are two different interpretations. I'm thinking a bound book can either be physical or it can be electronic. Their interpretation is it can only be an hard copy. So this was the first pharmacist. Then I get a message from another pharmacist. The third one, that's when I realized, yeah, this is getting out of hand. I might lose what? Contracts, because this is business implications. Why would the whole organization subscribe to an electronic system and then only be told that they still need a hard copy? They'll simply cancel the contract. It doesn't make sense. So I said, let me get a better understanding of what MC's interpretation on number one of the approval letter and number two of the law is. So I wrote to them so that they can clarify. So MCZ is like a parastatal, right? Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe. So the things that they do are also covered by what's called the Administrative Justice Act, which says if you write to an administrative body, that law requires them to write back to you and clarify on whatever you wrote to them about. So I write to them expecting a response. So number one, I was asking for their clarity on how they're interpreting the approval letter that they written to me, and then I was also asking for clarity on how they interpret what a bound book means, so that we see if we can meet halfway. So I'm sure you can see all of this is an attempt to collaborate from 2015 to 2023. Can you see how many years that right? So I'm attempting to collaborate because I'm thinking, you know, we're all on the same page, and whatever makes sense to me makes sense to everyone else. And then, unfortunately, I didn't get a response from them. Right? So now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because my clients asked me, what's going on? We signed a contract with you thinking we can use this system, but we're being told that the requirements are different from the regulatory authorities. And nobody in business wants to be on the wrong side of any regulatory authority. It's just simple. It just makes your business difficult. You can be shut down. So now I'm at risk of losing a contract or contracts, and I can't get a formal position from the regulatory authority. It's difficult. And mind you, this is a very astute organization. It's got all kinds of departments, regulatory, legal departments, they've got labs, they have a functional board, and everything like that. So I'm wondering what's happening with these people. I can't get a formal anything in writing as to what the interpretation is. So I don't know what to say to to my clients, because also what I'm getting from my clients is just text messages. That's also not in writing, so that's not formal. So I decided to do the unimaginable. I decided to pursue litigation. So that was the only route left. If they'd responded, maybe we would have met halfway. But they didn't respond, so my only option was to approach the courts. So why did I approach the courts? The reason I approached the courts is because, number one, litigation is a constitutional process. So I have a constitutional right to approach the courts. Number two, it's a very transparent process. Whatever court record we have, everyone lays their arguments, we lay our arguments, and it becomes public record. So number one, the first reason is because it's a constitutional process. Number two, it's a very transparent process. Number three, it's also a peaceful process. I wasn't going and banging on people's doors, enforcing my ideas down there, right? So the reason, what we needed to interrogate when we're doing this, pursuing this litigation, we needed to interrogate whether, in light of the significant social, economic, and technological changes in the country, is it still sound to interpret a bound book only as a hard copy? So, of course, you know the High Court has the ability to develop the law and things like that. So, of course, this case is ongoing, and we'll be sure to let you know what the judge say in the High Court. Right. So the reason I'm telling you this story is not so that you decide who is right or who is wrong in this situation, but I need you to see what the real world actually looks like. You see what the real world looks like. You have to push hard. You have to push hard, especially if you're going to be innovative and if you're going to want to make a difference in people's lives. Not everybody's going to agree with you, but when you believe in what you're doing and when you believe in your hard work and your honesty, you're going to have to dig deep, guys. You're going to have to dig deep. Something that's going to look straightforward, but you might have to take a winding route. And the simple reason is because we're human beings involved. I told you we're different qualities of human beings, and this is why this case is like this. So in conclusion, like I said, I didn't tell you the story so that we can discuss who was right or who was wrong in this matter, but just so I can give you a clear picture of what the reward actually looks like. It's not very straightforward. Right? So you can go back to the same question again. Is collaboration real or is it myth? That's food for thought. You don't answer that right now. And how likely are we as a country to collaborate in matters and projects that actually genuinely move the country forward? That was the second question. The third question was, who is entitled to participate in making the nation better? Because my assumption is, as a citizen, I was entitled to do that. But when you get into the system, you start seeing it's telling you something different, right? Who is entitled to collaborate? Who is entitled to innovate? And does our footprint reflect our message or our trust of collaboration? And number 7, do we have enough cohesion? I'm going to touch on this cohesion at the end of my speech, which we're about to get to the end of my speech. And then number 8, are we in an environment that is designed for collaboration and progress? Guys, when you go to the ministerial role, you really need to tackle these questions, because if you don't get these things addressed clearly and sometimes in black and white, you will struggle. You guys are going, this is your profession, and your profession hinges on innovation and digitalization. So these are some of the things that you guys are going to need to hammer in on, so that you don't meet dead ends. Cross over to the other side, right? Right. So the reason I'm using these questions as learning nuggets is, in my opinion, nothing in the journey that I've given you makes sense to me at all. I mean, does this journey make sense to you? The project was simple and straightforward, right? It sounds beneficial, right? But look at how long it's taken, even having to go to court, right? And the government of Zimbabwe is on a trust to digitalize systems. Therefore, my system was in line with the national vision, right? That's number 1. Number 2, I was actually reading an article from the Herald, I think dated March 2016. 16 March 2024, right? Where the Minister of Home Affairs was talking about using a cocktail of solutions to fight drug abuse and things like that. And some of those things are the digital system. Because if you can now track all the narcotics in the pharmaceutical sector, you can tell if they are leaking into the illicit market, right? Or not. So again, the system is in line with what? With the national vision. It can even be used to fight drug abuse. But here we are trying to fight for it to survive. So is there cohesion? Are we collaborating? Yes or no? Food for thought. Food for thought. You can't answer some of these questions for your out loud for your own safety. All right, and then the third point is I was also reading the Zimbabwe multi-sectoral drug and substance abuse plan. I think it's yet to be signed, so I was reading the draft. And then in this draft, it actually acknowledges that some of the drugs that end up being abused are controlled prescription drugs, right, that leak from the former pharmaceutical sector. So again, this system can actually help the multi-sectoral drug and substance abuse plan by using it to monitor at least the drugs that are in the former pharmaceutical sector. So maybe you guys can come up with another app for the illicit sector, and then they can be used together, right? So in my head, with all of these, with these 3 points, in my head, I'm actually in line with the national vision. I'm actually in line with the national goals. We can help drug abuse to make this a national system. But here we are having to approach the courts to do something that can actually benefit the nation, number one. Number two, to do something that is in line with the national vision, with the national vision. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what the real world looks like. So I'm not here to discourage you, I'm here to actually energize you guys to say when you guys go out there, you have to go out there with a little bit more energy than you have now. Okay? Because the real world is a jungle out there, it's for women and women, and it's for people who want to make the world a better place. And sometimes to make the world a better place, you have to go through valleys and mountains. And I trust you guys are going to do that, and I trust you are the type of people that are going to turn collaboration from being a myth to an actual reality. Okay, it's possible, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful piece, and I hope that we're able to get quite a bit from that. So